What Caitlin Clark said about injury, probably just a little too much basketball. NDANAPOLS Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark is continuing to work back from her leg injury, she said Friday, but she plans to play in Indiana's final preseason game at Atlanta on Saturday. "I'm taking my time with the injury, and I feel really good honestly," she said following practice Friday. "Excited to get out there and play again tomorrow, work on things we need to work on. Our medical staff has been really helpful, and I feel really good." Fever coach Stephanie White said she doesn't plan to hold anyone out of Saturday's game against the Dream, which will be the Fever's final live action before the regular season starts May 17. Clark was held out of the Fever's first preseason game against Washington on May 3, but returned to play against the Brazilian national team at her alma mater in Iowa City on May 4. She played 20 minutes at Carver Hockey Arena and spent her time on the bench riding a stationary bike, which aims to keep leg muscles warm, and using a heat pack on her thigh. White said Wednesday Clark has been limited in practice this week, but she said she is a full go in what she is able to participate in. Still, the Fever are erring on the side of caution with the injury. With a week until the regular season, she doesn't want to make anything worse. "When I'm in practice, I'm full go," Clark said. "I'm not limited in any regard in the drills I'm in. The past few days I've been pretty active, but there's no reason to really overdo anything right now. It's still the beginning of the season. We don't play a regular season game for another week." Clark added she doesn't know when or how she specifically suffered the injury, which she has described as just a little tightness in her left leg. "Probably just a little too much basketball," she said. "I love being in the gym, but I think understanding when to be in the gym and when to recover, things like that, I think it's just finding a balance and obviously getting back in the swing of things. It was nothing major or anything like that." Caitlin Clark's backcourt homie incites national analysts to highlight persistent WNBA issue. When Caitlin Clark turned down a $1 million contract from unrivaled last year, jaws dropped collectively. Choosing rest over riches, Clark made it clear that pacing yourself is half the game in the long marathon of professional basketball. However, when one thinks further, there's an moment, as Clark doesn't even need that cash, as unfair as her WNBA salary might be. Her sponsorships and brand deals do enough for her. But here's the thing, not everyone in the WNBA has that option or privilege. For most, the idea of an off-season is an unmissable one. Basketball for them, it's a 365-day commitment with little pause for breath. Once the WNBA season comes to a close, players don't get boarding passes for vacations. They fly out to suit up for international leagues like the EuroLeague, China's WCBA, or Australia's WNBL, which all tip off around October or November. Some might say that these leagues are a way to keep the muscle memory intact, but they're more like financial lifelines that make one barely care about injuries. Considering that in the WNBA, players have a shot at getting popular, but never a chance to get enough dollars. Take Kelsey Mitchell, for instance, Clark's backcourt homie, who's been hustling abroad for around 5 years. Thanks to that, Mitchell, the guard who CC feels fortunate to play with, made headlines, not for a buzzer beater, but for a busted finger. While she pulled out of the remaining WCBA season citing personal reasons, one can only imagine the toll the injury must have taken on her. For the entire time since she's been stateside, her focus has been on how to shoot with that fractured finger, which is just not an easy task.